Hi fam, welcome back to Part of the Internet. I am Keeyaria, and today we're going to be talking about my experience going to my university, East Carolina University. Now let's just go ahead and get right into it. So I actually was not planning on making this video until someone actually DM'd me on Instagram asking me my experience being Black going to PWI, a predominantly white institution. And it's something that, I don't know, I never necessarily thought about, maybe because I'm so used to going to school and it just was not something that was, high up on my list of videos to do. So since I was asked that, and since probably a lot of people have questions about that as well, I said, why not? This is actually the first video in my school series that I'm doing this year. Last year it was a great success and I think a lot of people learned a lot from it, and so this year, with me being a senior, I have a lot to add. So I hope my tips and advice actually help you. I go to East Carolina University. I am a senior. I major in psychology, minor in composite science, and my college experience has not been, typical, as I would say. So 2020 was my senior year of high school. As you know, everyone, or at least in North Carolina, in my area, got sent home the week before my birthday, so March 5th-ish. And on March 13th, which is actually a day after my birthday, the world shut down. So I did not have a senior year. I was able to graduate, have a 30-minute graduation, and there it was. So my freshman year of college, I actually stayed home during COVID. I did it online. If I could go back, I probably would have taken that year off. I think it was just a lot on all of us. It was a lot of stress. It was really weird. The world changed in such a way that we were not expecting it. So I probably took a year off, but nevertheless, I did it online. My sophomore year, I decided to go to school. You see that back? My sophomore year, I decided to go to school, and I had a roommate, and I prayed for my roommate to be a Christian, for her to understand me and my beliefs, and that she'd be a good roommate. And thank God I had a roommate who was a Christian, who understood my beliefs, and was a great roommate. I absolutely loved being with her. It was definitely a learning curve because the only people I've ever lived with was my family, and obviously I have things that I like it and she has things that she likes it, and so yeah, I did have to compromise a lot. For me, I like being cold when I sleep. I like the AC to be promptly 68 degrees, and she got really cold, and so I would leave it on, I think it was like probably 73, and I would sweat. I'm not gonna lie, I would be really hot, so I would have to sleep with a light blanket. So I did have to compromise on a lot of things, not only that, but some other things, which was fine. It just was a learning curve. But my sophomore year was very lonely, to say the least. I did not really know anyone. I met some people that was in my dorm towards the spring semester, more towards us going home for the summer. I did meet a couple of girls, which was really nice. Coming into my junior year, that last year, I actually stayed in a single room. I absolutely loved it. I loved having a roommate, but at the same time, I love my personal space. And so it was fun being able to be by myself, decorate the room how I want it, keep the AC very cold like I want it. It was just great. But at the same time, again, I was very lonely. And some of the people that I met at school kind of just fell out, for different reasons here and there. But I mean, it didn't last, which, friendship doesn't always last. And I just was super lonely. I found myself coming home almost every weekend, my sophomore and junior year, like clockwork, either Friday night, Saturday, or definitely on Sundays. For a couple of Sundays, I would stay and watch it online, but we all know watching online is not the same as going in person. And I do think I hit on that in a video why we should go to church. I will make sure I leave that link down below, and I might try to see, I think you can link stuff up in the card, so I might try that this time. But that video kind of explains why I believe that we should be going into the church house. But yeah, it was just a hard time. And then I did try to go to different churches. around my school area, but it just wasn't like home. It didn't feel like home. I wanted to go back to my community. I wanted to go back to my friends. I wanted to go back to the place that I love. And I think school definitely brought me back to home. I mean, honestly, just like a lot of people, they want to leave home. They want to run away. And I tried that. I tried to run away. And lo and behold, I'm pushed back here. And so now, as my senior year, I decided to just commute. My fall semester, I'll have 2 classes in person, the rest will be online, and my final spring semester will be completely online, so I'll be able to really be home. Now, what does that hold for me? I have no idea. I do think I'm probably going to take a gap year. I'm not sure, but I am burnt out, really. I have been in school, I calculated, for about 16 years ongoing. It's definitely since the summer of my junior year in high school. I did dual enrollment with my community college and my high school, and so during the summer I would take 2 or 3 courses online, and then during the high school year, like, you know, school year, I would also do my high school plus college classes. That was all the way up to college. And I mean, in college during the summer I would be doing things like shadowing and internships. My winter breaks were not really breaks, so I would work all the time. And last winter I actually did a 40-hour module for a new job that I was able to get, which I was so thankful for. I prayed for. I was so happy with it. But ultimately, I only got maybe 2 days or 3 days without having to do that module before I had to go right back to school. So I have just been worked. I've just been worked, and it's been nice, and I'm very thankful because I had the opportunity to be able to have this education. I mean, everyone's not able to have a great education. Everyone's not able to go off to school. I mean, it's expensive. It really is. And I mean, I wish I had $50,000 in my bank account to be able to pay me through, but that's just not how it goes. It's just not reality for me. And so I think I've just gotten to the point now where I'm just tired. I'm a senior, and on one hand, I'm very excited that I'm a senior. I'm very excited for this year. I want to go to all the basketball games, the football games, and all the events. And I'm happy to say that through my job, I've met so many people, so many like-minded people as well, which I'm not saying that all my friends need to be like me and believe in what I believe, but I feel like I just have a different connection with them than I have with everyone else. And don't get me wrong, I have friends that don't believe, that are not Christians, and I still love them just the same. But I've been able to have a community now, and that's just within the last couple of weeks. In my last video, I talked about how I've been going through loneliness in the last couple of years, and with a book that I'm actually reading called Find Your People, I have really just flourished, and she gives such great tips, and I've actually taken those tips and ran with them. And I feel like with that, plus prayer, plus getting uncomfortable, I've really been able to build friendships and relationships that I never thought I would have, and it's just really exciting to me. So with all that being said, what is my experience going to a PWI? Honestly, it's just been a roller coaster of things. I've had some really fun days, I've had some really sad days, I've had some really lonely months, and I've always get told, well, if you went to HBCU, you probably wouldn't have that. But I guess honestly we'll never know, because I didn't go to HBCU. That's not the school that I chose. I chose my school because it was close to home. I love that I'm far away enough that I feel comfortable. Also, I'm really close that if I need to come, I'm able to do that. Also, I love the campus. I loved just what the school stood for, and plus it's a big school around here. So that's why I chose it. And I mean, I didn't choose HBCU, and you know that it is what it is. So I'll never know how it would have been if I would have went to one. But either way, I really do believe that college experience here at PWI, for me personally, probably would not have been enjoyable for me either way. Honestly, I am a homebody. I don't like going out. I don't do stereotypical things that a 21-year-old would typically do. And honestly, I just don't know if I would have as much fun as people would believe that I would. But when it comes to choosing your school, I would not say choose the school that is at HBCU or PWI. I wouldn't choose between those. And that's how I was at first when I was in high school. I was like, I'm going to HBCU. I was so headstrong on it, and I had to, that I was just like, yes, this is it. But the more and more I thought about it and pressed into it and talked to the Lord about it, I was led to ECU. And honestly, I think it's a really great school. There's some great opportunities. There's so many things that I have learned there that I don't know if I would have learned anywhere else. I mean, honestly, we'll never know because I'm not going anywhere else for undergrad, but there's just so many different things that I have learned and I've been experienced to, exposed to rather, and it's just been great. So I wouldn't close the school off. If you are Black and you want to go to CU, definitely go to it. But at the same time, I wouldn't just say no to a school just because it's a PWI. And your experience could be vastly different from me. Maybe you are the outgoing person. Maybe you're not the homebody. Maybe you will enjoy doing certain events and going to clubs and stuff. So maybe your college experience would be different. I would just say tour the school. Ask people who've been to that school. Do they have the program that you want? What is the school's, what do you call it? Come on, Keeyaria. What am I thinking of? Reputation. There you go. What is the school reputation? I think that would help you out more. And ultimately, look at the scholarships they're offering. Look at how much it costs. I mean, school is so expensive. A lot of us don't have $50,000 in the bank account just to spit out to tuition. But I mean, school is a factor. What are the dorms looking like? What are the apartments around? What about the restaurants, the people? Is it a small town or a big town? These are just things that we should be looking at. And I mean, PWI and HBCU, yes, that changes the feel of the school. I know that. I'm not blind to that, but I just wouldn't close it off just because of PWI. I enjoy my school. I love my school. I've been there for 4 years. I'm about to graduate May 2024. Thank you, Jesus. I made it. Yeah, I just wouldn't close it off. So I hope this helped. I mean, I kind of rambled on for a little while, and hopefully if you are a homebody, a more introverted type of person, you would be able to relate to me and kind of understand, and hopefully it helps you out a little bit. So I hope this helped you guys. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And as always, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.